Yo, hey yo, hey yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Standard 81 podcast. My name is Sincere. And today we're in for a good one. This one I'm entitling Scream and Shout. But before we get into this one, let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. And I'll be right back with you here in 3, 2, And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with me. Once again, my name is Sincere. And if you are just coming in, go ahead and hit that like button. That helps me out 100%. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And comment and share with those. Comment down at the bottom and share this with somebody who you think needs it. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Today's is entitled Scream and Shout because I want to just go on in a nutshell about a few topics that are on my mind and just give you my various opinion on these topics. It could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 2, whatever the case may be. But today I just want to kind of go off on it just a little bit. Once again, these are not opinions based upon any facts or statistics that I have looked up in general, but I will be bringing up anything that I already know and can reference. So let that be that. Without any further ado, let's bring up the first topic. The first topic is money. Money. All right. Now, a lot of people seem to think I hate money. A lot of people seem to think I hate nice things. And I am here to tell you I do not. I do not hate nice things. I don't hate money. What I do hate, what I dislike is what money evolves people into and how much it is praised as being the end all and be all of everything. That's what I hate. The attitude that comes with people that have money seems to be that of, I think that I am better than you because I have such. When, to be perfectly truthful with you, I'm sorry about that, guys. To be perfectly truthful with you, if you didn't have it, you wouldn't be anybody. Now, I know that the concept of out there, those who have money are always powerful and influential. Cool, but some of the people that have been highly influential throughout years and centuries and throughout history have been some of the people that haven't had a whole lot. For instance, Albert Einstein, who he in and of himself was not a rich man. Now, does this mean that the things that he invented and the stuff that he came up with and the theories and all that stuff did not give him substantial wealth? I am not here to debate that. But he was not a rich man. He was a scientist, highly revered within our society and our communities today as one of the greatest thinkers that there has ever been. All right. Mark Twain, right? To most comedians and people who do literature, they consider Mark Twain as a great author, not this eccentric rich person, right? And the one that I am failing to mention, but I am going to mention right now, Jesus Christ himself, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the one that rules over my life, and I hope he rules over yours, was not a rich man while he lives on earth. We do know he owns everything and he has made everything, but he was not a rich man here on earth. But yet his influence is still felt today. And it's still impacting people today, both good and bad. So this idea that the only way to be influential and powerful is to have money and make money and have a bunch of material wealth is a misnomer. It's a lie made up by society to make you think that in order to achieve some type of greatness or some type of success, you need the things that they have to offer. When really it's not that. We have seen people throughout centuries and histories that have gone contrary to that exact idea. And then we have seen people who have had massive amount of wealth and material things become irrelevant seemingly overnight. Because the only thing that was really holding them up was their riches. Let me give you a biblical example of that. The prodigal son, right? After he got the money from his dad, he became highly influential and he became very popular, right? And he had sway. I guarantee you, he had swayed over everybody until he lost all his money. Once he lost all that money, and all that money ran out, the people that he once were had his back and he could go on and count on, none of them wanted to be bothered with him. So much so that he had to go work with pigs and was about to eat the pig slop. The problem that I have with today's culture and money is not that people want it or the fact that they desire it or the fact that it's a necessity. The problem that I have is it makes people jerks. It makes them unbearable. It makes them uh, think more highly of themselves than they ought to. Because, see, let me tell you something. It's easy to threaten somebody when you feel like you got everything. It's easy to belittle somebody when you feel like you have everything. It's not so easy to do that when you have nothing. And see, the people that give you, see, you got to realize, in order for you to get something, you have to give something. So the same people that are giving you your status and your riches and all that good stuff, if they decide to take that away from you, who are you? And that's been my whole point when I've talked about money. The Bible says this. It doesn't say that money is the root of all evil. No, 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 no. Even Jesus understood that we need money and that things need to be done in such a fashion. He called throughout the Bible. You see people call for finances. So it's not the concept of money in and of itself that I am against. I am against what the scripture says. The love of money is the root of all evil. 50 Cent had a song that said, money is God. So, and the problem that I'm seeing is that people that get money think they are God because society deems them to be somebody important. But you got to ask yourself, who are you when the money is gone? Who are you if you were to lose it all? Would people even really care what happens to you if you lose your money and your status and all this good stuff? And for a lot of those people that feel like that and are in that position, the answer for them is a glaring no. But yet and still, we keep on we keep on allowing ourselves to be mesmerized and told that this is everything. That without this you're nobody, and without this you're nothing. I am not against finer things. My goodness, people, let me show you something. Let me show you something. In the room that I'm recording in, I have a PlayStation. I have an Xbox. I also have a Nintendo Switch. So I am not against material possessions. I am not even against the accumulation of material possessions. I'm not against nice things. Let me turn this. Let me see if I can do something. Do you see the stuff behind me? Do you see all the toys and stuff I have? Look at all the hats I have. Look at the cologne. Look. I just recently, I still haven't even unpackaged it. Just bought some more cologne. Very expensive. I am not against nice things. I'm not against liking them. I'm not against having them. I am against people thinking because they have these things, they are somehow more important than those who are out there. You are somehow more important than the people you see day to day, the people that are around you, the people that made you who you are. You know, the most successful people are the people that acknowledge that it took other people to get them there. You know, I know there's that whole we're blocking celebrity things, but I gotta send shout out to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, because I'm a longtime wrestling fan, and the one thing that The Rock will always acknowledge, I haven't ever heard him not say this ever, despite what you hear in the media, despite what may happen in his real life. I have never heard him once defame and belittle the people that have helped him get there. Now, how he acts behind the scenes, I don't know because I don't know him personally. But he has always acknowledged the fact that it took people, not only the people in his camp and his company and the people that help him get stuff done, but it took fans. It took people that wanted to see his work in order to get him to the place that he is today. And that's part of the reason I admire that man. He recognizes exactly where he comes from, and if it wasn't for the people all coming behind him and wanting to see more of him, he wouldn't have what he has today. But in this generation and in this society, we feel as though once we get to a particular level, now we are better than everybody else. Not realizing, and companies and people alike all beginning to realize that as times are tough and people and the same people that used to support you begin to look at things and evaluate their lives and their lifestyle and all this good stuff, they're even recognizing that, whoa, without these people, I'm the same as them despite my name and my status and who I perceive myself to be. And that's the problem that I have with money. It's not money in and of itself. It's not knowing the inherent value of money. It's not knowing that I don't need it, and it's not even desiring it. It's the love of it and how it changes people. Anyways, on to the next topic. Let's talk about black culture. Black men and black women. Do y'all even like each other? Because if you're out here in social media and on these streets, you will see a lot of discussion and discord about black men and black women in relationships. Now, there's a lot of talk about relationships in general, but especially amongst the black community, we see more discord and more disagreements between each other, but yet and still we keep on wanting to say, hey, we need to come together, we need to unify, we need to woo 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 woo, but we don't even seem to like each other. We glorify in our community the most negative things about it. We belittle and degrade the people who try to shed a light on the immorality and try to uplift what's good and what's righteous. We continue to glorify debauchery and and belittle ourselves, but yet and still we continue to want to play victim and point the finger at everybody else except ourselves. Men want to point at women, women want to point at men, and then if that doesn't work, we want to point the finger at social media, we want to point it at the white man, we want to point it at society, we want to point it at anything but ourselves. And we wonder why, as a culture, we are not thriving. And then when we do get a little something, which brings me back to the first point, when we start getting money or we attain a certain status for ourselves, we no longer want to be humble. We want to act as though we are better than, because we're stuck in this poverty mentality. We're stuck in this slave mentality. And when somebody finally calls it out and says, this is cultural appropriation, or this is just as bad as the people y'all say y'all combat against, we want to say, oh, we proud of being black. And no, you're not. How come we're not joining together with each other? How come we are not concentrating on the things that would make us grow? How come we are not valuing the fact that we can, when one of us comes up, we can take the other up with us? We keep on acting like crabs in a barrel. We want to pull each other down and hope for their downfall. We want to see the underdog story until the underdog becomes the champ, and then we want the champ to go down by the next person coming up. Instead of saying, hey, champ, help us get to where you're at. We want to take everything from them. Our women keep on telling, the black women keeps on telling the black man he is worthless, he ain't worth nothing, and then wonders why he don't want to be with her and and then the black man is sitting there telling a woman that all she is a slut and a whore and this and this and this, and wondering why she acting the way she does. My goodness, no, there is a, and then here's the thing that really gets to me is we talk about healed, oh, and we'll use the fact that we are healing our trauma and drama as a tactic to belittle each other. Oh, that's because you ain't healed yet. That's because you still dealing with, if you was, which baffles, I'm like, how are you using the fact that you were supposed to be healing from all the trauma and drama that has been caused in your life as a tactic to shame each other? How are you using the fact that you are elevating and growing and pushing to another level beyond where you are at today as a shaming tactic to shame each other? It is quite baffling. So let me ask the question. Do we even like each other? Do we want to see our communities thrive? Because I keep on hearing, yeah, we do. We want our communities to thrive. Do you remember Black Wall Street and all this good stuff? Those people were together. Those men and women were together, no matter what their status were, even though most of them were in poverty. They realized the strength and the power in uniting and coming together. And that's the thing that's stopping us in the black community right now. We only want to come together when another race or another culture or something that we feel is systematically going against us happens. And it has to be negative. It can't be good. It has to be negative. So that once again, we can play the victim card, we can play the race card instead of looking at it and saying, how did we cause this situation? How can we elevate past this? For those of you that don't know, I used to be on the police force. And for as much as I understand our culture's propensity to be scared of law enforcement, I now understand the other side. Because for the few, for the limited time that I was on there, I encountered some of the most difficult people that I have ever encountered in my life. And they had my same skin complexion. I was a traitor to my race. I was an Uncle Tom. I was a coon. I was everything but a child of God because I was doing my job and enforcing the laws that would keep them safe. How is that? We don't glorify and uplift those who are trying to make the place better. We constant. Here's what I'm thinking, man. And this is going to be a wild statement. I think we like slavery. And I'm not talking about chains and shackles. I'm not talking about physical slavery. I'm talking about mental slavery. Because if we actually got free here in our thinking, I don't think we would know what to do. Because now, if we are free to do whatever it is we want, we now have to accept the consequences of those actions, whether they're good or whether they're bad. There is nobody there to then point the finger at or place the blame to. We have to start pointing to ourselves if we ultimately are free here. Because now we got to look at, man, I made that decision and it didn't turn out so great. I did that. I had this child out of wedlock. I sold those drugs. I made that music. Now there's no cultural appropriation. There's no blaming it on the society that we grew. There's no blaming it on the environment we grew up in. There's none of that. We now have to take accountability for our actions. We now have to start saying, man, I keep on picking the wrong woman. I keep on picking the wrong man. I'm picking it based upon what? And we can't just say, oh, trauma and drama, because now all of a sudden we've created what we are living in. So, anyways, Last topic for me, and this is indeed the last topic. Let's talk about relationships in general. Now, I am here to tell you at one time I looked forward to marriage. Not that I don't, but at this point in my life, I still want it, I still desire it, and I still think it's a good thing. But it's not a priority anymore. And why do I say that? Because well, first of all, as a Christian, my top priority is to follow Christ and His will. But secondly, the way things are today, I just don't understand. Now, mind you, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I'm an 80s baby. So I've seen things evolve and change. And the things that my dad did and his dad did, and all the stuff that I was doing before, don't seem to work in this generation. And most people would say, it's your fault, it's your fault. And to a degree, I understand it is my fault. I didn't know. But it wasn't as though I wasn't seeking to be in a relationship at the time, because I've been engaged twice. And I've dated quite a few ladies. And a cornerstone of it, outside of what I know I did, is none of them just really seemed like they were into me all that much. Now, part of that is because I was picking poor, and I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you on that. But it's like, do we honestly want to be in relationships anymore? Because what I'm beginning to see is that the more guys, I heard a guy say this on TikTok, the more guys become more aware of what's happening today, and they begin to voice their opinion, and they begin to voice their concerns and stuff like that, the more the women want them to shut up and be what it was before then. But yet and still they want us to be different. Make it make sense. Now, I get it. And I've said it before. Women think different than men. Everything for them kind of flows together, because I told you, women think like spaghetti, and guys think like waffles. So in a guy's mind, we compartmentalize. We're like, okay, we can change this about this, and we're moving pieces around. For the ladies, it kind of flows together, right? And because we don't think like that, we don't do it. There's a lot of chaos between us. But now what I'm seeing is that they don't even want to understand. But the more that they don't want to understand, the more they're craving the attention. Guys are becoming single and happy. And the small majority that are out there reproducing with young ladies and leaving young ladies as single mothers, they're more upset. They're like, where are all the good guys? Where are the good ladies? They're in the house. They're at the gym. They're at work. They're at the church. They're not dealing with people like that no more. And it's not because they don't want relationships. No. But they have realized that it is better to have peace in their life so that they can focus on the things that they got to do, rather than to be with somebody and have a bunch of contention and other stuff that they need to deal with outside of what life is already throwing at them. And the ladies are beginning to wonder why. Well, why? You could be missing out. You could be missing out. And you told us to leave you alone. You told us not to approach. You told us. You told us. You called us disrespectful everywhere we went. You pretty much said that any male space needs to be invaded by a female because it's not right. And they let you in kindly and respectfully with consideration. And then you called them toxic and misogynistic and stuff like that because they didn't apropos to what it is you wanted them to do. So now, consequently, they just said, you know what? We're not going to even deal with y'all. Point blank, period. We may be seen in the same space and we may go to the same places, but we're going to stop this. We're gonna stop all this because we realize that all you're fishing for is attention. And if we don't give you any attention, you can't accuse us of anything. All you can do is sit there and yell and scream about why and try to call us out and belittle us into hopefully giving you attention back. And you're finding out that's not working either. This used to work. Well, trash tactics don't get good results. Why are the men so different? Well, there's a few reasons. The good men are tired of being dogged out and saying, yeah, if it comes, it comes. And the bad boys is just going to be the bad boys, and the simps is going to be the simps. And then the men that are coming up are being raised by single mothers. So what do you expect? What is it you're expecting? Because I wouldn't be expecting anything at this point. I would say you can expect more of the same, but honestly, it's worse. Because as the males that are coming up are becoming adults, they become the beta males or the F boys that the ladies complain about because they've never had any male presence in their life to teach them otherwise. And now we hear, oh, men need to come back, they need to be in these. You should have thought about that. You really should. Y'all wanted to stick with the high value. Y'all want to keep on running after the high value man, and y'all want to keep on running after the dudes that swagged up and all this good stuff. And I get it, but why expect something out of a group of men that you don't really consider of value? That would be like us expecting the Instagram model to give us time, attention, and sex for just being us. It's a preposterous way of thinking, but that's what y'all think. And I'm not saying that it's all of you because I know all of you don't think like that, but I'm going to say it's a vocal minority, and that vocal minority is beginning to pick up traction in the vast majority. And it's causing them to think like that. Am I this red pill, uh, MGTOW, Manosphere guy? No, I'm not. If you watch any of my content, you know I call out the men just as much as I do the ladies. But I am tired of hearing about, oh gosh, you need to do this, and guys is that, and guys, and it's like, yo, cool, oh, time out, stop. What is it y'all going to do? I don't want to hear, oh, I can cook and clean, I can be a man's piece, and that's lame. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels, but that used to be a good uh, line when he was alive. But see, that's the thing about it. Men are beginning to realize that it's a line. It's something that you say to sound like your your potential character and your potential of who you are is better than what we think it is. But in reality, it's just something you saying. It's a mask you're putting on. Just as much as the men do it, I ain't gonna sit there in front with you. Just as much as the men do it, it's just a mask you put on. So the guys are like, we need to figure out something different. And if the relationship thing ain't working, then hey, we'll just do whatever. And this is why OnlyFans subscriptions have gone up. Porn addiction is so high. AI girlfriends are a new thing. And nobody really wants a relationship like that because the idea of having to submit yourself to more than a few minutes or more than an hour or two to a person is not idea for a guy anymore. Just as much as it is for the ladies. The idea of a relationship seems preposterous anymore. So, what can be done? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But I'm going to leave you with the same conclusion I always leave you guys with, which is this: turn your life to Christ. You thought I wasn't going to go there. I'm going to tell you like this, man. I have been saved since I was 8 years old. And I rededicated my life to Christ when I was 18. And since then, I've been following the scriptures. But here's within the last few years, and I'm talking about from my late 30s now into my early 40s, my relationship with Christ has intensified. And I have begin to see the more you let God guide, and I mean genuinely guide. I'm not talking about, I'm saying I'm letting God guide, but as soon as things don't work out the way I thought they will, I take back the reins and I start maneuvering myself. I'm like, truly just letting God guide. Chill out, be patient, be still, let God work it out. My life has been more peaceful. I've been more content. I've been more joyful. Now, does this mean that things have always been sunshine and rainbows? No, no, not in the least bit. But I've been content. I've been happy for the most part. And that's all due to my relationship because I'm not worried about this stuff. I'm not worried about what I can get, what I can gain, where it is I'm going to go, how things are going to happen. It's just happening. And I know that sounds preposterous because I'm a guy that likes to be planned. I'm a guy that likes to go. I'm a guy that likes to do. I'm not talking about social wise, but I'm talking about work. I don't mind working. Ever since then, man, say commit your life to Christ, call on his name, and I can guarantee you your life will be better. But you gotta trust him, man. You gotta trust him and do like um, the Carrie Underwood song says. Just take the wheel. Take it. And I mean seriously take it. Don't just take your hands off the wheel. If you like cars in that are outside of the United States have the steering wheel on the right hand side instead of the left, yeah, just take that steering wheel, put it on the right hand side, and let him drive the car, and you sit back and be the passenger. He'll get you to the destination. He'll give you the instructions. He'll tell you everything. And your life will play out so much better. You'll start caring less and less about what people say, what they have to think, and you'll start worrying about more of what the impact you're leaving, what it is you're going to do in the long run, where it is you're going to be after this life is over. That's what I can guarantee. It'll help fix your perspective on relationships. It'll help fix your infatuation with money and materialism. It'll get a culture back into alignment with one another. If you just trust in Jesus, man. This sweater says, trust God and chill. I love this sweater. I love this hoodie because the statement on there is true. Just trust God and chill. He's got a plan for you, man. He's got a way. And I promise you, the more you let go and the more you look into his word, he'll reveal it to you, and you'll find out that things will be so much better. Anyways, I'm done. I'm done ranting. I'm done. Guys, check out the Standard 81 podcast over there on TikTok. I've got a ton of videos up there, as well as check out Sincere the Artist over there on Instagram. Got videos, pictures, all this good stuff of when I was back in the day and all that good junk. I got stuff up there. And anything that you need from me as far as getting in touch with me, figuring out how to get on my how to get on any of my social media is either in the bio. Just scroll down and you can get in touch with me that way. And outside of that, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Type second watch in the comments if you're watching this after the stream goes live. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace to you all. I'm out. God bless.